नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवम्। Hare Krishna. Welcome back to Hare Krishna Bhagavad Gita as it is study class. So today's we are on the 5th chapter now. Karma Yoga, Action, Krishna Consciousness, and today's verses are 7 to 10. 4 verses we are taking now. So we shall read the first verse, the 7th verse now. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijidatma Jitendriyaha Sarabhudatma Bhudatma Kurvannapi na Lipyade. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijidatma Jitendriyaha Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma Kurvannapi na Lipyade. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijidatma Jitendriyaha Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma Kurvannapi na Lipyade. Yes, Renuka Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijitatma Jitendriyaha Sarvabhutam Bhutatma Kurvan Apina Lipyate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Rekha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijitatma Jitendriyaha Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma Kurvanapi na Lipyate. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Right. Snigdha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijitatma Jitendriyaha Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma Kurvannapi na Lipyate. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So 8 and 9 together. Naiva kinjit karomiti yukto manyeda tattvavida pashyan shrinman spashan jigran ashnan gachan shwasan saban palamban visajan grihnan unmishan nimishan navi indriyani indriyartheshu vartanda idharayan. Naiva kinjit karomiti yukto manyeda tattvavim pashyan shrinman spashan jigran ashnan gachan savan shwasan pralaban visajan grihnan unmishan nimishan nabi indriyani indriyartheshu vartanda idharayan. Naiva kinjit karomiti yukto manyeda tattvavida pashyan shrinman spashan jigran ashnan gachan savan shwasan pralaban visajan jighranan unmishan nimishan avi indriyani indriyartheshu vartanda idharayan. Yes, Renuka Mataji. Awesome. Last thing, we have not read that translation, I think, no?
The translation.
Okay, Renukamaji, you can read the translation of 7th verse.
One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled.
Okay, right. Now you can recite 8 and 9.
Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyata tattvavid Pashyan Shravan Spasyan Jigran Asnan Gachan Swapan Swasan Pralapan Visrajan Granan Anmishan Nimishan Api Indriyan Indriya Arteshu Vartanta Iti Dharayan.
Okay, right. Right, Rekamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Naiva kinchit karometi yukto manyate tattvaved. Pashyan shrivan sparshan sikrahan ashan gachan swapna swasan pralapan visrichan grihanan unmishan nimishanapi indriyan indriyanarteshu vartanta iti dharayan. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. Siddhamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manye tattvavid pasyan sprunan swasarjinghran swasan gachan swapan swasan
Ashnan Gachan Savanshwasan.
asnan gachan swapan swasan pralapan bisujan grahannonishan nimishannapi indriyani indriyethesu vartanti iti dharayan. Hare
Oh,
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. I can read the translation. Can read the translation also, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, opening, or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. Verse 10. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tektva karodiyam lipyadena sapapena padmapatra ivambasam brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tektva karodiyam lipyadena sapapena padmapatra ivambasam brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tektva karodiyah lipyadena sapapena padmapatramivambhasaha. Yes, Renukamaji.
Brahmanye adhyaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyatena sa papena padmapatram ivambasaha.
Right. Hare Krishna. Siddhamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti jaha lipyatena sapapena padmapatramibambasa. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Rekamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Brahmaniyadaya karmani sangam tyakva karoti yaha lipyatena sapapena padmapatram ivambasa. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right, you can read the translation also.
One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the result unto the Supreme God, is not affected by sinful action as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chachurunmeridam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudavadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamstam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishakhanvidam Cham He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijidatma Jitendriya Sarva Bhudatma Bhutatma Kurvannapi Nalipyade. One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. So, Krishna, having firmly established beyond any doubt that Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga, now Arjuna is also convinced. Now Krishna has very clearly told that specifically, as the wish of Arjuna, he has said, Sunishchidam, tell me definitely, definitely which is better, which one is better for me, of Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga. So, Krishna has finally stated that Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. Why it is superior? Why Karma Yoga is superior than Jnana Yoga? Now the goal is the same. The goal of both Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga seems Brahman realization only. The process is different. And in practice,
Jnana,
which is better?
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In Jnana Yoga, detachment to matter, but in Karma Yoga, attachment to Krishna.
Yes. So, correct. Detachment to matter, and in Karma Yoga is attachment to Krishna. One is detachment, another is attachment. So, in a practical way, in practice, you will find that the Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is very difficult to remain unattached. You have to have a very pure mind. And one reason is that it is a natural instinct of a soul to be attached. Now he is in trouble because he's attached to something different than his natural liking. He's attached to matter, so his trouble has started there. Now he's, as per his advice, when he's attached to Krishna, then everything becomes very easy for him. You need a firm platform. Simply by getting detached to matter, you cannot make it on your own unless you have very, very pure heart. So the fall down in case of Jnana Yoga is much more than in respect of Karma Yoga. The chances of fall down are far greater. Because unless you develop a superior taste, you cannot overcome the inferior taste. The inferior taste is sense gratification, enjoying with your senses the matter, overloading the matter. Srila Prabhupada always says, overloading the matter. This is a natural instinct of a conditioned living entity. And he gets entangled himself in so many difficulties because of this. So unless you develop a superior taste, we should and prompt a living entity to be attached to that superior taste. In Bhakti, in the second chapter, is called Param Drishtvam Vartate. When you are seeing a superior taste, then it's easier to overcome this low taste of sense gratification. So Jnana Yoga, although the person takes a lot of determination is there, determination is there that he'll try to overcome this, but he'll not be able to do that because his intelligence. Hare Krishna. One of our devotees was here for last 3-4 days, Ujjala Nilamani Devi Dasi. She was here. She was rendering good service here. Now she is going back to her house because we had a very good function on Sunday. Very great function. I hope you have seen that photos and videos, everything was there. Signamaji, you have left the group. Why?
I have not left, sir.
There is a, yeah, there are two. Is there two? No, the one Signamaji has left. So I think you have 2 WhatsApp numbers, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. The
That's why
other one is not working.
That's why I seen that. Yeah, I thought so. Maybe that your inactive number, maybe you had left to that.
HKP group. No, Prabhuji, that group, no?
HKP group only.
Yes, I am there.
You're there. So you have seen the photos and videos, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. So she has rendered very good service. She's always very active. Always speaking to persons about Krishna only. And does her own preaching, goes to temples and preach on her own. Very active. So and we are there in our Mamata because due to this very dedicated devotees who are trying their best to support Srila Prabhupada's movement. Everybody will eventually do that. And everyone joining this class itself is eager because we can make out that they want to do something for Srila Prabhupada. That's why you're all here. And so Jnanis, unless he's pure in heart, it'll be very difficult for him to get detached from matter. Ultimately, he'll fall down because traction of Maya is so glittering that it is very difficult for even a very strong-willed person to dispel her charms. So, Krishna in the 6th verse says, Sanyasastu Mahabaho Dukkam Ayogada. Unless you engage in Nishkama Karma Yoga, it's very difficult to give up, renounce everything. So, after establishing Nishkama Karma Yoga, how this person who is engaged in Nishkama Karma Yoga applies or in his practical field, how this transcendental knowledge is applied practically, this is given in next 5-6 verses, up to 5 verses is given there, and 6 verses. So, Yoga Yukto, it is in Yoga Yukto, one who is in Krishna consciousness. First is that his intelligence get purified, Vishuddhatma. Now, intelligence, as you know, in our chapter, 3rd chapter, 42, is that Indriyani Paranyahu, Indriyebhya Parammana, Manasasta Para Buddhi, O Buddhehi Paras. So, in this setup, in this hierarchy, intelligence is in the top, just below soul. In the material arrangements. So, our body is comprising of 24 elements, the material elements, and the soul. So it's a combination of matter and spirit. And in the combination of spirit matter of 24 elements, intelligence is highest. That is why it is called Saradhi. Saradhi means leader. Intelligence is leader. When the leader is intelligent, is pure. So when the intelligence is pure, then it is easier for intelligence to control the mind. And when the mind is in control, then senses can be subdued. So we should not. How he becomes intelligent? Because he has imbibed the Shastras. He has understood that Krishna is the cause of everything, cause of all causes. So when you are attached to Krishna, when you know Krishna, then you know everything. The Srila Prabhupada gives an example of watering the roots of a tree or feeding food to a stomach. In the case of stomach, in the case of body, stomach is the important organ. And in case of tree, roots are the most prominent. So when you water the roots, all that bark, trunk, twigs, leaves, branches, everything get nourished. So when you understand Krishna, you know everything. Then you become free from our age-old habit of gratifying our senses. And when intelligence is in place, when intelligence becomes pure, the mind is also very pure. The mind is a place where the desires are generated, all the desires. Both gross desires and subtle desires. Gross desires enjoy with the senses. Subtle desire also with the enjoying with the mind. And in the gross desire, you have penchant for sense objects. You want to gratify your tongue, or you want to talk. So a person who is intelligent, he has controlled the 6 urges. In Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami talks about 6 urges. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Uparagashta Vegam. In Nectar Instruction, you find that. Yes, it is Udesha Amrita. Acho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, tongue, and Udara Upashta Vegam. These are the 6 urges. Vacho Vegam, control our words or speech. Then Manasa Vegam, urges of Vegam. Vegam means urge. So Manasa, mind, control the mind. Krodha, control our anger. Jihva, control our tongue, which is means you always interested in palatable dishes. And then Udara Upashta Vegam. Udara means stomach, and Upashta means sex organ. So when you have this 6 types control, this can be affected when intelligence is pure. So a person who is able to control these 6 urges, he is qualified, he is called Dhira. Dhira means sober. Sarvam Abhinam Prithivin Sashishyat. He is able to make disciples. He is qualified to accept disciples. Now this is very difficult. Complete control of the 6 urges is possible only for a person who is fully Krishna conscious. And for that, you have to identify which are the enemies of bhakti. Krishna consciousness is a devotional service rendered by the soul in full consciousness. That is devotion. And for that, to be in pure devotion, you have to remove the 6 obstacles in the path of devotion, which is atyahara prayasascha, prajalpo niyamagraha, janasangascha laulyamcha, shadbir bhakti vinashyadi. Vinashyadi means destroys. These are the 6 things which destroy devotion. Atyahara. Atyahara means overeating, or over collecting what you more than what you need. That is atyahara. Prayasas means over enduring. It's a small thing, but you want to endure. You make so much effort to get that. That is prayasa. Prajalpa means always talking. You cannot stop talking. Keep on talking. Like a Srila Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam, when a frog keeps on talking, Srila Prabhupada actually it is inviting the snake only. When the frogs keep on croaking, he attracts a snake, and snake comes and swallows the frog. So talking is as dangerous as the croaking of as much talking is dangerous for the frog. Talking is dangerous for living entities or man. So Prajalpa Niyamagra means always very strictly trying to follow some rules and regulations without knowing the purpose behind these rules and regulations, or casually overcoming, neglecting these rules and regulations. So both are Niyamagra. One is very, very attached, strictly, without understanding the purpose behind that, that becomes Niyamagra. Or when you neglect these rules and regulations, which is good for your spiritual life, that is also Niyamagra. Janasangas means attachment to persons who are in sense gratification. I mean, we can say karmis. When you are keeping company of karmis, naturally you will imbibe their qualities. So Sangha, association means you associate with one person. If you are influenced by that person's behavior or manners or his qualities, then that is the bad side of association, or the good side also. If that means in association, you're always being influenced by the persons with whom you are keeping company. So you have the Asat Sangha and Sat Sangha. Asat Sangha means association with karmis. Sat Sangha means association with the devotees. So Jana Sangha here means association with the karmis, which is bad for your bhakti. And last one is laulyam. Laulyam means greed, ardent longing or greed. So these are the 6 obstacles. When your intelligence is pure, you can overcome these kind of 6 obstacles, and you can overcome these 6 urges. And the mind becomes very pure, and the mind is very pure, then his senses also act according to the dictation of the intelligence. So such a person is very, very dear to everyone. We can make out such a person who is in fully Krishna consciousness. We can make out that he has no other interest other than promote Krishna consciousness for himself as well as for others. So instinctively, although he may be a person who is very calm and all that, instinctively even those persons, Dhira, Adhira, or Shad Goswamis are very pure and very, very dear to everyone. Dhira, Dhira Janapriya, Krishna Kirtana, Gana Martana Varo, Premamudambo Nidhi, Dhira, Dhira Janapriyo. They are very dear to everyone, irrespective of whether the person is dhira, sober, or not very sober. I mean, one who is in good guna or in bad guna, irrespective of the guna of persons, everyone has a liking for Shad Goswamis. They are devotees. pure devotees. You can easily make out that devotee, and even the so-called envious persons also, they become non-envious just by taking darshan of these pure devotees. So he becomes very pure to everyone, who is dear to everyone. And such a person, although engaged in different activities, is not affected by the actions of the, because he knows what he's doing. There's clarity in his mind. Very clear man. Yes, overcome any desire for getting any result out of this. He's not looking at the fruity part at all. Such a person has become very dear to everyone. And what is his intelligence? His intelligence tells he is aware that Naiva Kinjit Karomedi Yukto Manyeda Tattvida Pashan Sanvan Spushan Jigran Ashtan Gachan Saban Shosan Pralaban Visajan Granan Unmishan Nimishan Nabi Indriyani Indriyarteshu Vartanda Idharayan. So Krishna is mentioning 13 activities, type of activities which we perform with our Jnanendriya, with Karmendriya, or with our pranas and with our Andakarana. So which are the activities pertaining to Jnanendriya here mentioned here? Which are the activities which we perform with the Jnanendriya?
Prabhuji, Pasyan, Sronyan, Spastan, Jingran, and Asnan.
Yes, Asnan. Correct. 5. These are the first 5 are connected with the Jnanendriyas. Then which are the Karmendriya? Yeah, you may bit difficult. This is not in order. First 5 is in order only. Pashan, Spashan, Spashan, Jigran, Ashnan is connected with the Jnanendriyas. And in case of Karmendriya, Gachan. Yes, you are using your feet, isn't it? Gachan. Which are the Karmendriyas?
Yes.
The throat, 2 hands, 2 arms, and then the evacuating genitals and genitals.
Yes.
These are the how you find Gachan, you're using your feet. Then Pralaban. Pralaban means you are also using your throat, speaking. Then Visajan, evacuating, and then Grinan. Grinan means accepting. That is, you are using your hands.
Hands.
So Visajan can be also ejaculation also. In that way, you are using all the 5 Karmendriya is also there. So 5 Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, and then action. The Sopan and so Shosan. Let's talk about Shosan first. Shosan is what? It's breathing. Breathing means the involvement of prana is there. You know pranas. There are 10 types of airs, 5 prominent ones and primary ones and 5 secondary ones. Prana, apana, vyana, samana. Yes, samana. These are 5 and there are 5 secondary ones. Naga, Krikara, Kurma, Dhananjaya, Devadatta and Dhananjaya. Devadatta and Dhananjaya. So, Shosan is breathing, which is connected to the primary S. And which are the secondary ones? Unmishan, Nimishan, when eye closing and opening eyes. This is the work of Devadatta, which is controlling the movement of your eyelids. Or when you're opening mouth, so many subtle areas. When you open a mouth, it is an action of Naga. So our body is very, very nicely constructed by Krishna. So many things are very much in place. Modern science is not able to make it out. So how nicely how these activities are grouped together. 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, then primary S and secondary S, and the last one Sopan. Sopan means dreaming or sleeping. Sopan, which is Andakarana, this mind, false ego and all that. In Jagrata state, you are working with your senses. In sleeping state, the senses are inactive, but mind is active. There is we call a dreaming state. Then there is a sushupti, means that is a sleeping state, deep sleep. Even the mind is inactive, but your false ego is still there. So these are, you can mention that is the material activities which we perform with our jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, pranas, and andakarana. So all these activities are performed by this person with these instruments, which is a combination of indriyartha, indriyani, indriyarteshu. When the indriyas, these senses, interact with the sense objects, I am not doing anything. These senses are interacting with sense objects. Naiva kinchit karami. I am not doing anything. I mean, it is not the action of the soul. It is action of the material elements in our body. So why I should be attached to these material elements? So when you have a clear understanding that your activities are material activities only, then it is mentioned Brahmanyadaya karmani. Before that, some explanation is there. Now, here it is mentioned that we are not involved. That is, soul is not deciding. Actually, but soul, you cannot eliminate the soul. We cannot say that soul is not the doer or not the intelligent, because soul is intelligent. Intelligence is part of soul only. So in Aranya Upanishad said that you cannot separate the intelligence from the intelligent. Because the soul using its intelligence only is understand the scriptures. So with the help of the scriptures, determination and contemplation. Nirdharana means determination or discrimination, and manana means contemplation. So behind that activity is the soul only. And this dead matter, when it has to be moved, of course, the dead matter is being moved by pranas only. Prana means airs. But the prana is, where is it coming from? It is being transmitted from soul, and soul, where the soul is getting from all these things, there's a super soul only. So when you come to 18th chapter, you'll find all the 5 elements of action. But here we are talking about the material activities which we are performing. So material activities we're performing are managed by the material elements only. The soul is not attached to that. It is the actual meaning. Soul is not attached to it. It is not that the soul is not part of that. Soul doesn't take any decision on that. It is not, a soul is not attached to it. Soul very well knows that these are material activities which is maintained for maintaining our body only, which is required for maintaining our body. Apart from that, he has got no other attachment to these material elements or material activities, rather. Some actions have to be performed to keep the body going. And the Krishna conscious person knows that which are actions, which are the limit up to which you can, the body requires. Body has to maintain, and it has some food is required. Few things are required for the body. And why his body is being maintained? The body is required to elevate ourselves to Krishna consciousness, because it's with the body only we are able to work, because now we are provided with no other working instruments except our body, and these bodies are provided to us by Krishna only. And the body which Krishna has provided us, when we are using for material activities, then you get entangled. When you are using for Krishna conscious activities, you get disentangled. So the Krishna conscious person very knows that these actions performed by the material, that karmendriyas and jnanendriyas, have nothing to do with our consciousness. So when a person understands that these activities are performed by the material elements, then he can use this same thing for devotional activities also. So devotional activities are also performed by senses only. Without senses, you cannot perform devotional activities. So he makes a determined resolution, and you can say that resolution that I am not going to involve myself in these material activities. I am doing everything for Krishna only. So that is made clear in the next verse. Brahmanyadaya karmani sangam tektva karodiya lipyedena sapabena patmapatraivambasa. Now Brahmanyadaya, one who performs his duty without attachments, surrendering results to Krishna, is unaffected by sinful action, as a lotus leaf is untouched by water. Lipyedena sapabena. No, Brahmanyadaya. Brahmanyadaya means it can be interpreted in two ways. Brahmani, Brahma, again, so is defined in three words. Brahman, one meaning of Brahma is body, another meaning is soul, another one is super soul. Now, all his activities, the 13 activities which is mentioned in verses 8 and 9, is basically performed by the body only, comprising of material elements, I mean, working senses and knowledge gathering senses. So these are body-oriented actions. And understanding that these are Brahmanyadaya karmani is performing without attachment. Sangam tektva karodiya is keeping, is unattached with the bodily actions. That person, he attracts, he doesn't attract any sinful, any sins. Or the Brahmanyadaya can also mean work performed for Krishna. Work performed for Krishna without attachment to matter. Suppose you are collecting money for Krishna, you have to construct a temple, or you have to do a, I mean, what do you call, a Rath Yatra or some festivals of Krishna. You have to naturally you have to collect money. But these activities may apparently superficially appear to be a material activity. Collecting money is a material activity because money has nothing to do with song. But you are collecting money. But that money is being utilized for festivals, promoting Krishna consciousness and constructing temples, etc. Then that activity becomes Brahmanyadaya in the sense that it is performed for Krishna only. So, Krishna conscious person is a very intelligent person. He knows very clearly with what consciousness you are acting. Action superficially appears to be same for the case of karmis as well as for bhaktas. But with what consciousness you have to perform depends on how far you have advanced in Krishna consciousness. If you have absolutely no axe to grind on your any self agenda is not there, then you can understand that the person is very, very advanced. That you can evaluate yourself. Suppose you are sitting in a good light is of calm and so many talking was going on. If you actively involve yourself in this kind of their discussions and conversations, then you can understand that you have a liking for these activities. Or you just say, stay for some time there without contributing anything from your side, or very minimum, keeping it very minimum. Then you can understand that you have no taste for that. Same way, any action which you perform without any desire for the results for your material advancement or material comfort. Desire for result may be there in case of bhaktas also, although he cannot stop from desiring. He performs something for Krishna, he will like that, he'll try to, he'll have feeling that let that good result happen so that Krishna will be pleased. That feeling, that desire is there with devotees. But that is not a material desire. So you can have the desire, but then again, you don't have to be upset when that is not taking place. Because, okay, I have a desire for Krishna, but that has to be sanctioned by Krishna also. So anything, any material desire or spiritual desire ultimately has to be sanctioned by Krishna. But Krishna is very pleased when you are aspiring something for Krishna. And Krishna will give you result definitely. One day it will happen. Perseverance. You have to always be perseverant. Keep on going, holding on to a task. And for that, Bhagavad Gita and the knowledge which you are gathering from Bhagavad Gita helps you a lot. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes. Any? Right. Thank you very much. So, Rekha Mataji, you can end the Narasimha Kirtan.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahladaladayine Hiranyakashi Kodaksha Silatankanakalaye Ito Nasimha Parato Nasimho Yato Yato Yamitato Nasimha Balina Vidhaye Nasimha Narasimham Adim Sharana Prapade Kavakara Kamalavare Vinaka Albuda Shinga Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrika Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Narahari Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari 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 Utram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishana Bhadram Mrityum Namamam Utram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishana Bhadram Mrityum Namamam Utram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishana Bhadram Mrityum Namamam Shri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Shri Narasimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Padma Bringa Jai Narasimha Shri Narasimha Jai Jai Shri Narasimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa
The Bhakti Vinashagari Shri Narasimha Bhavan ki
Jai
Vaishnava Bhakti Shresh Pada Maharaj ki
Jai
Jai Gop Premanande
Hari Hari Bol
Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Bye.